Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I'm going crazy trying to find stuff to do that's filmable, but we'll go ahead and update the fish tanks. This is what the planted tank came out to look like. Hasn't been fed today, so you can see the Betta watching me nervously, but cleaned up pretty nice. Now you can see this big rock over here. Still can't see the bottom of the driftwood, but I suspect that this has built up so much in here that it's now covering the bottom of the driftwood. But everything in here is doing good. So moving on. Cube tank starting to look really good. As you can see, if you remember from the video the other day, there was a lot more green hair algae on the back than there is today. There's hardly any left. Turbo snails have been taking care of that. There's one back there right now. Fish look okay. Today I found the Recordia frag face down in the sand, but looks like it's doing okay. The nem was in between these two rocks here yesterday. Today I have no idea where it is at all. It's done this at least once before where it got way up under these rocks and I couldn't see it, but yeah, I have no idea where the nem is. It's still just not happy in here at all, and I don't know what to do about it. And the 250, most of the algae is off the sand now. Tiger conch back here has just been working it like mad. And I just scared one of the engineer gobies, but the algae on the rocks is significantly less than it was. So the cleanup crew is really working on this tank. It's coming out pretty good, but I am starting to get algae starting to build back up on the front glass again. Down here in the sump, there's so many pods in here now that in a couple of days, if they keep exploding at this rate, I'm not going to be able to see through the glass anymore. Pretty psyched about how well that's going though. The skimmer is working. I mean, it's not like brown or anything like that, but there is a color to the foam caught in the skim here, and it has pushed some of it out the way it's supposed to, so that's working good. So this tank is pretty much dialed in now. I'm pretty happy about it. So everybody's waiting on food. Today I think we're gonna try out the sample for Hikari Marine Carnivore formula and some micro pellets, which are also Hikari. And we'll see how the fish like it. But I am almost definitely overfeeding these guys, because that is just the only way I can think of to get at least some of this to the clown goby. I have been tossing him some fish eggs every day, because those he doesn't seem to have a problem picking up and eating. But I still have to come up with more options to feed him. And the engineer gobies for that matter. Because so far, the only thing I've really been feeding them is the fish eggs. And we'll feed Mr. Betta. He gets his mainstay food, NLS Betta formula. I'm also going to throw in a pleco wafer for the bristle nose, even though they're probably not going to touch it, and it's just going to be snail food. But just in case they decide they want to try it out, I'll put some in there so they got something to eat. So I'm trying not to spook them, but the engineer gobies, whenever they think nobody's looking, they tend to hang out only on this side of the tank, and they just kind of swim in the current. Anytime I come down here, before I startle them back into their rocks, this is where they'll be. Just on this side of the tank, just swimming into the current. I don't know if you just noticed the lights flicker there a little bit. That was the cloud feature from the Reef Beat app. It does kind of approximate a cloud. It dims the light. I've got it on the maximum setting, so it dims the light like 40%, and then it'll bring the lights back up, and it kind of looks like the cloud just went overhead. And just like magic, the missing nem has reappeared in the exact same spot it was last night, hiding behind this rock here. So I don't know what more I can do to try and get that thing to open up more, or be more, you know, obvious and social in the mix of the tank, you know, somewhere where I could see it. But yeah, I just don't know what to do. So maybe I just, you know, need to be patient, because the night lights have only been out for about a week now, and the light has only been raised for about half a week. So just have to keep our fingers crossed that the nem comes around. It did seem to, I was reviewing some of my older videos, it did seem like it was bleached some. So maybe just keeping the light out will work. Let's take a peek in. The night light's going. It's really eerie. There's not a lot of light coming on right now, but you can still, there's still enough to see. Most people, you know, I mean, I've seen a lot of people complain about these Reef LED lights, but I've already proven a couple of things. One, they are so bright that they're more than this tank even needs, and the weather effects and stuff like that really work. They really do look good. The lights really look good. I mean, the night lights, I mean, this is killer. I mean, not sure if you can see anything at all. Well, looks like you can see a little bit, but I mean, it's a hyper realistic, and that's something I really like. And we've now confirmed that at least Super Red here understands that this algae wafer is something he can eat. He's been over here eating on it when of course the Betta thinks all food is his. So even though he doesn't eat these or the cucumber slices, most of the time, if I'm not standing next to the tank, he'll be guarding that food down there to make sure nobody else eats. So I think I've mentioned a couple of times that he used to breed bettas, but he also used to show the bettas that I raised. These are just some of the ribbons that I still have hanging around the fish tank here. In addition to that, you got more ribbons and a bunch of best of shows. These are just the ones I could find. I mostly did plaquette style. That was one of my favorites. And this female here was one of my favorites. Or males, pardon me. The one was male. Yeah, so that's going to do it for today. Come back tomorrow and I'll see if I could come up with something to do then. In the meantime, I'm going to throw a little video clip on here on the end of back from the betta breeding days. So see you then. All right, so here's some footage back from my bedding breeding days. This is the male displaying to the female, just showing off and trying to keep her attention, little nipping back and forth just to encourage her. And then this is the actual coupling. So the betta's got his nest up there under this half a styrofoam cup, and of course they mate and she drops her eggs and he picks it up in his mouth and then spits them back into the bubble nest, although I kind of missed that shot. So this is later on. This is after I've removed the female and the eggs have hatched. You can see the eggs, or the freshly hatched fry, or like the smaller dots that you occasionally see shoot toward the surface. And of course he takes them in his mouth, spits them in the top there. This is after I've removed the male and just after I've fed a bunch of baby brine shrimp. And these are like a couple of the bigger fry that are swimming around in there eating. And again, this is later on. The fry are a little bit bigger. Remove most of the plants just to make cleaning the tank easier, because they feed off the plants. So that then again here they're a bit older. They're not to the point yet where I had to start separating them, but they were starting to get close at this point. But most of those plaques you saw came off of this spawn and another spawn I did later on. There are a lot of award winners in this group of fish here. Pretty proud of how that went down. But like I said, I had the plants in there, and the plants kind of grow like an algae under the hot light that I had them on under here. And when the fish are babies, they eat that. So this is a cube tank. This is a long time ago. I'd obviously just fed some brine shrimp, but that was the nem I had, and it split into that smaller nem off to the side there. So yeah, that's it, and I'll see you next time.